Right now, former President Trump's rally comes to an abrupt stop as shots are fired during his speech, what we know so far. Also, the lineup of speakers for next week's Republican National Convention, see which notable Wisconsin figures will speak. And we're following reaction from around the political world after shots are fired at former President Trump's rally. What top political figures are saying so far. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. We begin with breaking news tonight after shots rang out at former President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. Now we have team coverage. Our Merrill Hubbard is at the Capitol with reaction from delegates and residents around Madison. And our Will Keneally joins us with the potential political consequences this may have moving forward. The Secret Service says shots were fired at a rally for former President Donald Trump in western Pennsylvania while he was speaking on stage. Trump was rushed away bleeding from his ear. The agency says the suspected gunman and a person attending the event were killed and 2 others are critically hurt. CBS News' Lauren Linder is in Butler County, Pennsylvania with the latest on what happened.
Take a look at what happened.
Secret Service agents rushed former President Donald Trump off stage after shots were fired, moments after he began speaking at a Saturday evening rally in Butler County, Pennsylvania. The Secret Service says a man attending the rally was killed. A doctor standing nearby tried to help him, performing CPR.
The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here.
Trump raised his fist as he left the stage. On his Truth Social site, the former president said he was shot by a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin, he wrote. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening.
I just hear these 4 shots and everybody screaming drop, and you can see the blood splatter on his face, and the Secret Service just barricades him.
The Secret Service says the gunman was outside the cordoned-off area of the rally, standing on an elevated structure, and that he was shot and killed by a member of the agency's counter-assault team. A large number of Secret Service agents is in Milwaukee right now ahead of the convention. They're trying to piece together what happened here in Butler. President Biden spoke a couple hours after the shooting.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
This was Trump's last rally ahead of next week's Republican convention in Milwaukee. He was taken away in a motorcade and again held up his fist as he got into his SUV. Lauren Linder, CBS News, Butler County, Pennsylvania.
The Secret Service says it's currently adding more manpower in the wake of the shooting, and plans are still in the works to expand the security perimeter at the Republican National Convention. The FBI is now the lead agency handling the investigation. And the shooting in Pennsylvania this evening is going to shape the campaign moving forward, including next week's convention. Our Will Keneally joins us now with more. Will?
Yeah, Jalen, we're looking at how the shooting will impact that upcoming RNC in Milwaukee next week. Now, it's sure to change the political landscape as well as the security of the event. Now, within the last few hours, we spoke with News 3 Now political analyst Brandon Scholes. Now, he will be with us for the RNC. He also worked on the advance teams for former presidents. Now, those are the people that put on these major events like Trump's Pennsylvania rally today. He told us this.
You know, this is the United States, and it's a democracy, and we're not known for domestic acts of terrorism that happen all the time like this. This is really something that is not part of our fabric every day. This goes against the grain of everything we know. And in politics and democracy, this is the worst thing that could ever happen on either side. So it's gonna bring a lot of attention to security. Is the president safe? Is the president's family safe? Is President Biden's family safe? I mean, this is all going to be elevated to a place where it hasn't been for so long.
Now, like he says there, we don't know yet how this will shape events coming in the weeks and days to come. But again, we will share the latest from Milwaukee tomorrow as the preparations for the RNC get underway. Jalen?
Well, thank you. Governor Tony Evers releasing a statement on the incident saying, "My thoughts are with President Trump and all of those folks attending today's rally in Pennsylvania. Thank you to the first responders who acted quickly, putting themselves and their safety at risk in order to respond to a horrific act of violence and to keep people safe. And tonight we're hearing from delegates in Wisconsin this weekend ahead of the RNC, sounding off on tonight's news. Meryl Hubbard is live at the Capitol with their reaction. Meryl, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Jalen, the energy is very heavy tonight. I actually talked to some people that were here for the art fair on the square by the Wisconsin State Capitol, and there was really a mix of reactions. But overall, people are really frightened by this news.
Incredibly scary that we would resort to any kind of violence about anything to anyone over just differences. That's what we don't know what it is, but it feels like it's about lashing out.
With the national convention coming up this week, I met a national delegate from Utah, and she says that this incident will only motivate Trump supporters for his cause.
I mean, if anything, I'm even more excited to get President Trump as a nominee here. If anything, it just shows that he's a fighter. You know, we're fighting for what we believe to be the right.
We will have lots more coming up as we go to Milwaukee this week for the RNC. Reporting live in downtown Madison, I'm Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
All right, sounds good, Meryl. Thank you. Trump confirming earlier this evening that he will still be attending the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. And prior to the rally, CBS News learned that Trump met with 3 leading contenders for his pick for vice president over the past few days. There's no word just yet on who he's favoring, but what we have learned are the names of who will be speaking at next week's RNC. Those names are released, and some notable Wisconsin figures are on the list ahead. Senator Tammy Baldwin's opponent, U.S. Senate candidate Eric Hovde, will speak, as well as Senator Ron Johnson. Other notable names include owner of ABC Supply and Wisconsin native Diane Hendricks, former White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, who graduated from Tremper High School in Kenosha and attended UW-Whitewater. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo are also expected to speak at the convention. Several members of the Trump family are set to speak. However, former First Lady Melania Trump is not, along with other well-known names such as UFC CEO Dana White, former news anchor Tucker Carlson, among others. You can find the full list of names on our website at channel3000.com. News 3 Now will be in Milwaukee all next week with extensive coverage of the Republican National Convention. Starting Monday morning, we'll have special guests, interviews, and more on all our News 3 newscasts over the 4-day event. We will also have a special stream show each night at 8:30 with highlights of the day's activities. And that will also be anchored from Milwaukee. Switching gears now, let's get a look at your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex, a pretty busy night in weather.
Yeah, indeed. The first warn weather team for days we've been tracking the start of a busy period, part of our alert day conditions, and that's the severe thunderstorm periods of severe thunderstorms that have started this evening. We've got more in the forecast as well. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for Grant County until 10:15 p.m. We have had confirmation in Prairie du Chien of winds up to 67 miles per hour. That was some time ago, but this line of storms still poses that strong wind threat as it moves towards the south and east. Potosi, Cobb, Platteville, Linden, Dickeyville, and then over towards Dodgeville. If this storm holds together, we could be looking at possibly severe thunderstorm warnings for Iowa and Lafayette counties. Here in Dane County, we have had lots of rain, and that rain has now pushed off towards the south and towards the east. But we have more showers and thunderstorms developing over portions of Juneau, Adams, Marquette, Green Lake counties, just some scattered areas of showers and storms. We're going to keep an eye on these storms here to see if they flare up. However, a lot of the air around southern Wisconsin has cooled down, so hopefully these storms will stay below severe levels. Future Track doing a brilliant job taking all this first line down into northern Illinois by the time, let's say, we get to 1 or so in the morning. But Jacob Montesano will be here in the morning because we have another round that looks quite likely to come right down I-90 and impact southern Wisconsin by the time we get to about 4 o'clock in the morning. Heat advisories for far southeastern Wisconsin for Sunday with those heat index values pushing 100 degrees. We've got more rounds of storms to track with strong winds and heavy rain being the main threats, and when it all ends coming up in Maine weather.
Right, sounds good. Thank you, Alex. The Rock County Planning and Development Agency announced Tuesday it has funding available to assist with recovery from recent tornado and heavy rains. The agency says funding is available for owned residences outside the cities of Beloit and Janesville for households at or below 80% of the county median income. The fund availability will be in the form of a grant with no repayment required for eligible applicants. The agency says funds can be used for structural repair to the primary residence not covered by insurance, such as a roof, siding, HVAC, window sanitary improvements, and more. Damage cleanup, personal property loss, accessory structure repair, and costs already occurred are ineligible. Applications can be made by contacting the Wisconsin Partnership for Housing Development directly at 608-258-5560. Rock County Board Chair Kevin Levy announcing Friday he is seeking persons of interest in serving on the Rock County Land Conservation Committee, whether they be a member of a board or a citizen. The board says the committee is authorized with responsibilities related to natural resource management, such as soil and water conservation programs, erosion control, sedimentation and non-poignant source of water pollution, and flood prevention. The committee will have 8 members. Levy says the board is seeking a citizen member that is actively engaged in any of the following for the purpose of producing income or livelihood: crop or forage production, keeping livestock, beekeeping, among other things. The Land Conservation Committee meets monthly on the first Wednesday of the month at 7:15 p.m. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation announcing Monday it will host a series of public hearings to discuss the design, location, and environmental impacts of proposed improvements to I-39, 90, and 94. WISC-TV says those 3 locations corridor study is looking to address safety issues. WISC-TV says residents will have 3 opportunities to participate, including a virtual option. The first meeting will be a virtual hearing. It will run from 5 to 7 p.m. on July 29th. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, the Capitol Square is home to the state's largest farmers market, but not today. Find out why next. And after the break, Alex is back with a full look of your First Warn forecast.
Gruber Law Offices, Gruber Law Offices, Gruber Law Offices. I'm attorney David Gruber.
For over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices has had one goal: to provide top-notch legal services to this incredible community. We appreciate and value our clients. We've helped tens of thousands of injured people get the care they needed and results they deserve.
Gruber Law Offices.
One call, one call, one call, one call, one call. That's all.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With 35 years' experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest, no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and espresso beans and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and a whole lot more.com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com.
You can visibly eliminate wrinkles and under eye bags in 10 minutes with results that last up to 10 hours without needles and without surgery. Plexiderm does it for only $14.95. Visit plexidermtrial.com.
It's their classic rock that brings audiences to their feet. It's Blue Oyster Cult, performing live Saturday, August 31st at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now through Ticketmaster. Over 5 decades of music, thrilling fans everywhere. It's Blue Oyster Cult, August 31st at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
It's Hy-Vee's Big Beverage Sale this Friday through Sunday. Stock up on 6-pack bottles of Coke products, just $3.99 each when you buy 3. 24-pack Pepsi products, just $9.99. Stay hydrated with Gatorade 8-packs, just $5.48. Fuel your workouts or your work week with Monster, NOS, Full Throttle, or Alani Nu energy drinks, 3 for $5. Plus, save on Red Bull, Celsius, and more. Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Milwaukee hosts the Republican National Convention, and News 3 Now brings you team coverage as Battleground Wisconsin grabs the national spotlight. Campaign 2024 GOP convention coverage live from Milwaukee, starting Monday on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
If you were wondering where the farmers market was today, no worries, the Dane County Farmers Market wasn't lost, just in a different location. Just a few blocks away from the Capitol Square on 917 East Mifflin Street. The market was held at Bree Stevens Field today from 7 a.m. to noon. Although the location was different, everything else was all the same.
I like how much space there is here. There's a lot more space. It's a lot less crowded. The flow, the weaving in and out is nice, so we're not all congested. And then I like the square because of the aesthetic of the Capitol, and then how you can hang out in the grass. It's kind of wholesome, babies and dogs and things like that.
Despite the parking being a bit different, farmers market goers were still able to stop by and enjoy a delicious array of vegetables, cheese, meat, baked goods, and beautiful flowers, of course. And you may have noticed a different scene downtown in Madison today. That's because artists from all over gathered to showcase and sell their work. Our Ellie La Liberté shows us what makes this event so unique.
There's actually two events taking place here today. There's art fair on the square and art fair off the square. But what's the difference?
I'm from Fort Myers, Florida.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
The simple answer to the difference between the two art fairs
I'm from Madison, but now I'm out in New Glarus.
I'm from Brookfield.
is where the artists are from.
Art Fair Off the Square is a group of artists that are all from Wisconsin only.
We have over 450 artists coming from all across the country.
And although they may seem like the same event,
honestly, most of the people I interact with do not realize they're two different shows.
They are different. The 66th Art Fair on the Square is the fundraiser for the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art.
This is the largest fundraiser for the museum.
While the 45th Art Fair off the Square is put on by the Wisconsin Alliance of Artists and Craftspeople.
Wisconsin artists wanted a place that just showcased the talent for our state, and thus Art Fair Off the Square was born.
For the artists,
it's just really cool to see everybody in Madison getting excited about original art.
Like Rachel Christopoulos, a featured artist in the Off-Square Fair. There's not competition.
It's really cool to just see how many artists come together to really work and just share their work this weekend.
And for artists on the square, like Matthew Rucker from Minnesota,
the better we all do, the better we all do.
Organizers and artists say both events help one another. Both these events will continue tomorrow on Sunday. Reporting in Madison, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. Art Fair on the Square is about 4 times the size of Art Fair off the Square. On the Square spans the blocks around the Capitol, while off the Square is on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Well, it started out as a beautiful day, and then that changed quickly. Let's get a look at your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington.
Yeah, it sure did there, Jalen. Sorry, I talked over you there a bit. I took my dog Loki out this morning, and it was beautiful to start the day. And then the humidity really cranked up, as the first one weather team said it would. And then that sparked thunderstorms, and we still have thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin, and we have more of it. Alert day conditions are still expected Sunday and again on Monday. We do have that thunderstorm across Grant County. Good news is the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire, so that's certainly good news, but still gusty winds ahead of this storm as it moves off towards the east as well. They'll make it into Iowa and portions of Lafayette County, so Platteville, Dickeyville, Dodgeville, Cuba City are communities that will be in the path of this additional line of thunderstorms. Dane County, the good news is we're getting at least a little break right now. Most of the shower and storm activity now has pressed off towards the south and towards the east, but not before dumping 1, 2, even some isolated spots of 3 inches of rain. A few more storms over the central part of southern Wisconsin up towards Columbia County. We'll keep an eye on those storms. The next line of storms is forming over Minnesota, and that could be knocking on our doorstep by the time we get towards 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when Jacob is here. But we'll be keeping an eye on all of these storms throughout the evening and their progression. Main threats are heavy rainfall, which we've seen in plentiful amounts across much of southern Wisconsin, and damaging winds also the next greatest threat. Can't rule out hail or a brief tornado over the next couple of days with all this heat and humidity in the air, and that wind ingredient and higher up in the sky will start to move into southern Wisconsin later Sunday and Monday, and that could promote a bit of an additional chance of the hail and the tornado threat. As we carry forth into Sunday, here comes that next line of storms. 5 o'clock, Juneau and Adams counties, almost a repeat of what we just saw this evening, making it into the Madison area, Mineral Point, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, sweeping to the south and towards the east. Then we build the heat of the day back up into the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. We'll go for a high of 91 in Madison. Steamy conditions with all that water out there evaporating, and that certainly could potentially produce some additional severe weather on Sunday. Marginal risk of severe weather on Sunday, a 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather on Monday as well. We have heat advisories across the southeastern portion of southern Wisconsin, where we could be looking at the potential for the heat index value, that's the feels like factor, to jump into the low 100s as we head between noon and about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Then that trails off because an additional line of storms is expected to move in to southern Wisconsin. As we repeat here, or I should say recap, a lot of information there. Feels like 100 degrees Sunday afternoon and Monday. More rounds of storms through Monday. We could be looking at additional repeat Monday afternoon and evening of severe weather, with strong winds, heavy rains being the main threats from these lines of thunderstorms. Monday, though, the good news is come Monday evening and Monday night, cold front will sweep through. That will scour out all the heat, all the humidity, and then that's returned with temperatures in the middle 70s by the time we get into the middle of the upcoming work week.
All right, Alex, sounds good. Coming up in sports, Andrew tells you what one of the Packers' best receivers is doing in Madison tonight. Next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You have a consumer issue and you keep getting the runaround.
It was just a total nightmare.
What you need is an advocate.
It's Call for Action to help me. Nobody else did.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team has the experience and resources to get results.
He was able to accomplish in a couple months what we couldn't accomplish in 4 years.
Need help? Contact us by phone or on channel3000.com. Call for Action, only on News 3 Now. Moving forward for you.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and a whole lot more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of Ford vehicles, like the Built Wild Bronco family, with a deal you just can't miss. Your biggest adventures are waiting. So make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. I want that. Make it a lease on a new Ford Bronco Sport for just $319 a month for 36 months. Only at your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. I'm coming to you live from Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Lottery's newest scratch game is taking over. Let me tell you, this is big. Are you getting this? It's Winning Streak, a brand new $10 scratch game. Match any of your numbers to winning numbers or reveal 3 identical numbers in a row. You could win up to $100,000. So cool. Now available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
It's going to be another sizzling hot summer. Don't burn up your money on high energy bills.
Get new energy-efficient windows from Champion.
We have saved 25 to 30% on our energy bill since installing the windows, which blew my mind.
Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus, get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save. Save 35% off your new Champion windows and $100 off every window you buy.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Steve Stricker is in the midst of his longest winless streak since joining the PGA Champions Tour, but he knows a thing or two about winning at the Colleague Companies Championship. Third round of it today, looking to win the senior major for the second year straight. But first, got to take care of this round. Birdie chance here, and this is what separates the pros from the rest. I mean, come on, from the fringe, he holes out, moving to 8 under for the tournament. And then on 18 from way out there, and he's not gonna, oh yes he is. Steve Stricker gets the birdie and the outright lead heading into the final round of the tournament, which is tomorrow. He's 9 under for the tourney, while Jerry Kelly enters the final day in 4th place. Headed out to Lake Tahoe for the American Century Championship, otherwise known as the biggest celebrity golf tournament in the world. And Joe Pavelski is back to try to win it all this year. He finished 3rd last year, and look at that chip. He is dialed in, enters tomorrow's final round in 2nd place, but wasn't the only star out on the links. Aaron Rodgers, Charles Barkley, the Kelsey brothers, and so many more joining in on the fun.
At the 8th hole.
The Brewers are 2-6 since the 4th of July, and that's why Pat Murphy held a meeting this morning with the leaders of his team, telling them he won't tolerate hearing we're just going through a tough stretch. And it sounded like the crew heard the message early on. First inning, already leading 3-0, and why not make it 5? Eric Haas keeps it going. He shoots the gap and brings in 2 more runs. It's 5-0 Milwaukee, and things were looking pretty good at AmFam. But the Nats shaved away at the lead. Crew up 5-4 in the 9th, and there goes C.J. Abrams with a 2-run go-ahead homer. He's a first-time All-Star for a reason. The 2-run jack stuns the Brewers, and Washington comes all the way back to win it. 6-5 is the final. To the duck pond, where the Madison Mallards had a very special guest in town. Packers receiver Romeo Doubs was at the duck pond. One of the Pack's top pass catchers throughout the first pitch, signed autographs, and even met with the team. Also met with as many fans as he could. He helped the Mallards get their 7th straight win, too. 3-2 was the final score. And we are just a few sleeps away from the long-awaited release of EA's College Football 25 video game. And today we learned what some of the Badgers are rated in that game. The secondary, according to EA, looks awfully strong. Ricardo Hallman at a 91 overall. Hunter Wohler rated a 90. As for the offense, you see Ches Malusi there with the breakaway speed, an 84 overall, while star wide receiver Will Pauling got an 86, and presumed starting quarterback Tyler Van Dyke got an 83. We'll be right back.
Madison Magazine's Summer Restaurant Week is here. Over 40 restaurants will showcase 3-course meals from $30. Plus, enjoy the perfect pairings with wine and more from Delicato Family Wines and Frederick Wildman & Sons. Check our online guide on MadisonMagazine.com to see which places offer takeout and dine-in. Save the dates, July 21st through 26th. Madison Magazine's Summer Restaurant Week, where good times and great meals come together. Presenting sponsor, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, and supporting sponsor, Roth Cheese.
Ever wonder where unloved auto parts go? Rock Auto gives them a second chance for even less than our regular low prices. Click closeouts only while supplies last and give a part a home.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swap Smart.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off. You'll also receive the Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and espresso beans and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and a whole lot more.com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com.
Get a great deal and do a great deal of good when you shop at Habitat Restore. From furniture and decor to appliances and building materials, we've got everything you need for your next project. Shop our convenient East and West locations today.
If your windows are leaky and drafty, it's possible they weren't installed properly. Many installers lack proper training, and shoddy installation leaves your home vulnerable to extreme weather. At Next Door and Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our approach ensures your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. And your windows and doors will be installed by certified experts who treat your home as if it was their own. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Get select large thin crust pizzas for $8.99. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99. That is a great deal.
Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now, weekend mornings, moving forward.
Anyone that's been watching our station over the last several hours knows that tonight has been a wild night. We had severe weather, obviously the incident that took place in Pennsylvania, and it just reminds me how grateful I am for our newsroom. I just want to thank you guys for all the help that you guys give throughout the night. All of you guys in the back, our control room, our hub team, our reporters that were out in the field today. Thank you guys so much. Again, a very hectic, wild night, but we were able to get it done. And thank you all at home for trusting us, getting you guys the latest information. Alex, a quick check of the forecast before we head on out.
And also that thanks goes to you as well. Future track showing those thunderstorms moving out of the area, but more storms are expected on Sunday.
All right, we'll see you all here tomorrow.